If you've been following my videos, then you know that the current narrative of the Portuguese government about ending austerity is a lie. It's fake news, because the reality is that the opposite is happening. We are witnessing the biggest cuts to public services ever seen in this country, even bigger than the cuts that the previous government between 2011 and 2015 actually did to try and follow the financial adjustment program that allowed us to leave a possible bankruptcy, because in 2011 we were near bankruptcy thanks to the Socialist Party that was in government between 2005 and 2011. The cuts that this government has promoted, we have seen many damages. We are talking about public services that are completely destroyed, namely the health national system and also the public transportation system. In the health system, for example, we are seeing the government promoting a policy of debt, meaning that they actually do orders to suppliers, but they don't really do any sort of payment. They just do the order, they receive the equipment, and then they wait to pay for that equipment for a long time. And what's happening is that the suppliers, already knowing that the government will not pay, then they only supply equipment that isn't good enough. It's equipment that is either old or not really working properly. And so there are many issues in hospitals because there are not enough conditions to actually provide a good service. But this doesn't mean that the expense of the state in terms of health didn't go up, because it did. It went up because, as I explained many times, this government promotes the benefits to their clientele, the public servants. And so the expense has gone up given to these benefits that the public servants are always receiving at the expense of the Portuguese taxpayer. All of this creates some really bad situations. In fact, we are now seeing news of people that have died waiting for operations in the national health system. These are direct consequences of the cuts that this government has promoted. So we are talking about quite serious things. I mean, this government already did enough cuts in 2017 and also promoted the jobs for the boys in the civil protection that basically contributed to the disaster, to the tragedy of the 2017 fires that killed nearly 120 people in Portugal. We are not talking about just bad policies that are only bad because we are losing money. No, we are talking about policies that actually cost the lives of the Portuguese people. Another system that really suffered, or sector that really suffered from these cuts, is the public transportation system. I already talked about this in previous videos, but essentially I have to remind you of them because the news I'm going to talk about is related to this. Basically, in the last 3 years, the public transportation system is in chaos. It simply doesn't work. We are talking about trains, for example, that are simply suppressed. They are supposed to be in their respective stations at a certain time, but they simply do not show up. And we are also talking about delays of the trains. People are waiting at 10 o'clock to get a train, but the train only comes at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. We are talking about big delays and lots of suppressions. Trains simply do not come. And all of this is due to the cuts that this government has applied and that has made the life of everyone that wants to go to work by means of public transportation a complete nightmare. Today, the government appears to be saying that they are sorry for the problems that we have seen in the public transportation system, because I'm talking about trains specifically because it's a situation that I know personally. I use the public transportation system in regards to trains. It's the one I use the most, but we are talking about other systems as well, like the subway, like the buses, like the crossing of rivers. All of these are part of the public transportation system that simply doesn't work. And people have actually even tried to, do a sort of protest or try to invade the facilities where they get the boats or should get the boats to cross the river because the service is simply not functioning. We are talking about very old boats. Some of them are not even working anymore because they just stopped working at all because they're so old. They don't have any sort of maintenance because of these cuts. and so they just stopped using these boats, because we are talking about also security issues, and if one of these boats had any sort of problem in the middle of the river, we could be talking about another tragedy, again promoted by this government. But when I talk about the public transportation system, it's not just about the trains, it's about everything. It's just that I know more about the trains because I use them personally, and I can vouch for the fact that they simply do not work. But the government is now saying sorry. And you know why? This is just another propaganda attempt, or just another thing that they are lying about. They are not being sincere. It's because we are in election year. Since they are in government, they had 4 years to actually improve the service. They did the opposite. They destroyed it completely. But now, in election year, they are saying that they are sorry and that they are going to improve the service. Vote for us, okay? Vote for us, and we will improve the service that we destroyed during these 4 years. These people are scum. These socialists are absolute scum. And when they are in a coalition with the far left, they just don't have any limits. We are talking about the worst possible thing that this country could have. And if the polls are any indication of what we are getting in October, then we probably will get the exact same thing. So I guess that the next bankruptcy, our 4th one, is very close. This is preposterous. I have never seen such dishonesty, so many lies done by a government. Even José Sócrates' government, which was the pinnacle of lies and deceit and crimes, was not as bad as this one. We have reached new levels of dishonesty in politics, and the Socialist Party, the left bloc, and the communists have been the protagonists of all this. Anyway, I hope you like this, and I'll see you next time.
And to all those affected, I want to say, we are deeply sorry.